Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your Liverpool against Crystal Palace Community Shield watch-along. It's great to have football back, isn't it? I mean, it's been an interesting start to the football season in the UK with the Championship, some interesting results, but we are heading back for the main event. I nearly said the real stuff, that would have been a bit dismissive, but we're back for the main event, which is the Premier League. It's the main event in football, not just in England, but in the world. And we are certainly ready to go for it. So I hope you're all excited. I'm actually excited from a purely footballing point of view to actually get a look at this Liverpool side that... Look, my Premier League predictions lands tomorrow. I'm looking forward to your thoughts on that. But many people would say Liverpool are favourites to win the Premier League. And there are some very interesting... I mean, look, the Premier League kicks off in 5 days. Liverpool, Bournemouth, we're doing a watch-along on Friday night. We're doing PSG against Spurs on Wednesday night. So football's back now. Let the champers begin, says Major Zero. So let's have a quick look at the two teams that are lining up, because it is pre-season and obviously that can mean, you know, resting players, etc. But I think when you look at the way that certainly Crystal Palace have lined up, Henderson, Richards, Lacroix, Guehi, Munoz, Kamada, Wharton, Mitchell, Sarr, Eze, Mateta. There it is. I would say that's pretty much Crystal Palace's strongest team. They could still lose a couple of those players. I don't know what's going to happen with Guehi and Eze, but you know, it's not unusual for players to leave once the season started. But it's a strong Crystal Palace side, and I think it's a good test for Liverpool 5 days out from Bournemouth. The Liverpool side, well, it's exciting. It's Alisson, it's Frimpong, it's Konate, it's Van Dijk, it's Kerkez, it's Szoboszlai, it's Jones, it's Verse, it's Salah, it's Gakpo, and it's Ekitike. So Ekitike, Verts, Kerkez, Frimpong, all their big summer signings starting in this game today. I don't know what he's doing in the midfield. Maybe Liverpool fans can tell us there, because both Gravenberch is not available. I presume he might be injured. McAllister is on the bench. But apart from that, it's probably Liverpool's sort of, you know, a very, very strong side for Liverpool. Obviously, Trent's not there anymore. So I don't know what the Liverpool's fans' thoughts are on that. But Gravenberch is actually suspended, Marks, as TS. He got a red card. Also, he's had a child. He got a red card and had a child. Well, you can't get a red card for having a child. I mean, that's just ridiculous. The PJMOL are going mad. Why is he getting a red card for having a child? I mean, you know what? I know people who should get a red card for having kids. They shouldn't be let anywhere near them. You know, they're just not intelligent enough to have kids. But why is Gravenberch getting a red card for having a child? I mean, that's just disgusting. I mean, you know, it's just, I don't know. PJMOL, they're just out of control. They're out of control. Obviously, we're joking there. He hasn't had a red card because of the PJMOL and a child. He had a red card for a footballing incident. Anyway, Gravenberch became a father yesterday, I read, says Jacob. Forget this, Gyökeres will be a great backup of Kai Havertz for Arsenal, no joke, says Rub. I think, well, I'm not going to give anything away from my Premier League predictions, but it'll be a good watch to start your week with tomorrow. I always purposely put it out at about 8 o'clock on a Monday morning because it's the start of a working week and it's just a nice little treat for everyone to, you know, pop out of work and, you know, get involved in. So that'll drop at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. I also want to say as well, you know, we're never going to forget Diogo Jota. And obviously, I think it would be... thank you very much. It would be... just getting a cup of tea there. So I didn't want to be disrespectful. Just get the tea there. So yeah, I think in relation to... I think we're all feeling it. And I don't think Liverpool fans... Well, they won't never forget. I don't think football will ever forget. And there is a... You know, just before I went live there and I was looking at the team and the bench, you know, it hit us hard a few weeks ago. God knows how it's hit Liverpool Football Club. You can only imagine. But it was a strange experience looking at the team today and not seeing Jota. I mean, it's just, you know, I feel it. It's just, I mean, I'm not going to start crying or anything like that, but I do feel sad, incredibly sad that, you know, looking at that Liverpool side and he's not there. And it's not because he's suspended and it's not because of injury. It's because he's not with us anymore. So I just think it was worth mentioning that just for a few seconds, minute, whatever, just to say, look, Liverpool are the champions. The Premier League's the best league in the world. Football is a gift to us all. But we, as a community, football community, lost a player this summer. And they've just put a picture of his shirt there as well. Yeah, very, very sad. And you know what? Most of us will have been through grief and lost people that we really care about. Life's a gift, and it does go on. It doesn't stop. It does go on. There is a Premier League. Liverpool Football Club go on. And we have to go on. We have to go on. It's a tribute to those that we lose. You have to go on. You can't give up. But it was weird today. I must admit, it was weird today looking at the lineup. Not a surprise, but just very strange and very, very sad. But it goes on, and Liverpool are a fantastic football club, and they will make sure that Jota's memory goes on and on and on and on. In relation to the game, I think a lot of people talk about the Community Shield in a disrespectful way. There was a time where Man United, this would be our first game of the season. You know, we took it for granted that this was our first game of the season for many years. It's not been like that for many years, although we did play in it last year because obviously we won the FA Cup. But yeah, it's a good. It's about as good as it gets without being competitive. The Community Shield. It's like if pre-season is just getting your legs up to speed, I think there is about as good as it can get in relation to, you know, over the years and even before my time, you had people like, was it Kevin Keegan and Rory Bremner getting into a fight? Actually, Rory Bremner's a comedian. It wasn't him. It was Billy Bremner, who played for Leeds. They got into a fight in a Community Shield game. So, look, we won't see fights, but I think we will see. If Liverpool win 4-0, I think that's a message. I think it's a statement. If Liverpool beat Athletic Bilbao 4-0 in bloody New York 2 weeks ago, I don't think that sends a message at all. But I think you do get. I mean, Liverpool are playing a game of football in 5 days where there's 3 Premier League points up for grabs. Crystal Palace this season, who knows what they will actually line up like when the season actually starts. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the start of the season. Obviously, I've already recorded my Premier League predictions. It's under lock and key. It will drop at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning on this show. So make sure you subscribe, get your notifications on. But, you know, that to me is always the point where I go, right, Premier League's back. I think over the summer transfer window, you're talking about what can happen. But it's the same for everybody. I mean, look, Sunderland have had a good summer transfer window. They'll be talking about staying up. 3 games in, they might be planning for the Championship. Arsenal, with Gyökeres, will be talking about winning a league. 3 games in, they might have lost at Old Trafford, lost at Anfield, and been going, that's not happening. Liverpool will be talking about retaining the Premier League. And again, they've got to go to Newcastle, they've got to play Arsenal, they might drop points and go, it's going to be a tough season. So it's the great thing about a summer transfer window or the summer is everybody's got optimism. But I love football. I love football. And I love doing this because obviously Man United's my team, but that's football's just my love for football. And I love this period between sort of August and Christmas. I love that off the field and I love it on the field. I love like Halloween, the nights get darker, the run up to Christmas, the colder nights, you know, the Saturday afternoon games where it starts to get dark at 4 o'clock around November. The start of the season where it's hot into September. It's a great time between now and Christmas for football. And the only bad thing is the international breaks, which I just decide to book holidays for these days. I see it as a positive to have a little bit of a break. But NFL's back. That's got nothing to do with football. But, you know, Super Bowl, we do that on here. So it's a great time. And I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. I mean, look, just a little bit of a plan for the week. I mean, it's great to be doing this actually because obviously over the summer it was humming and ahhing about whether to do the Club World Cup, and we sort of did and didn't. But this is real football. Champions League, we do lots of watch-alongs for that. But the week ahead is this: Liverpool, Crystal Palace, Community Shield watch-along. Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, PSG against Spurs, UEFA Super Cup. Friday night, 8 o'clock, Liverpool-Bournemouth opener from Anfield, Premier League weekend number 1. Saturday, 12:30, Villa Park, Villa against Newcastle. Watchalong on here as well. Sunday, that's on United Stand, 4:30, Manchester United against Arsenal. And then that's the weekend concluded in relation to our watch-alongs. But stories will be back. Ex-players will be talking crap. PGMOL will be ruining weekends. And That's Football will be there covering it for the fans, by the fans. So really excited about it. Make sure you get involved as per usual. And share the video. We've got nearly 5,000 watching already. We're so back and we're very excited about it. Thank you very much for the super chats that are coming in, by the way. I will read those. Zubimendi is the one we're most ecstatic about, says Tanish. I mean, I'm looking forward to watching Arsenal. Well, I'm not, actually. I tell a lie. I'm very much looking forward to watching Liverpool from a purely footballing point of view. And it's not the Liverpool stand. You know, when I was writing out live watch-along below, I nearly put Liverpool stand just for the banter. It's not the Liverpool stand. It's just Liverpool have had the most interesting transfer window away from Manchester United, in my opinion. And Arsenal have had a bloody brilliant window. But I'm looking forward to watching Liverpool. I'm looking forward to watching Arsenal after the Man United game. I won't be able to really assess Arsenal against Man United because I'll be so locked in on us. But there will become a time when I look forward to watching Arsenal because I agree. I think Zubimendi is an amazing player. And of course, he could have been a Liverpool player 12 months ago. So I think Zubimendi's a good signing. Gyökeres, I don't know whether I'm starting a Gyökeres fan club, but I really like Gyökeres. And I dispute anybody who is going, oh, he's going to flop this, that, and the other. It's just nonsense. I think he's a brilliant player. I think he's going to light the Premier League up. Maduiki's interesting for Arsenal. Apparently played well yesterday. Obviously Saka, Rice, Saliba, Gabriel. I think Mascara will be a good signing for them as well. They've got a great chance of winning the league this year. But I've never known a team do what Liverpool have done. To win the league and then go and have your best transfer window in history. I mean, football has changed this summer. And I'm looking forward to it. I mean, there's so many teams I'm looking forward to seeing, and that's what it's all about. You know, the first few weeks of the season, you just want to have a look at everybody. Newcastle haven't had the summer transfer window they would want. Villa seem to be a little bit subdued as well. That's going to be an interesting game on Saturday. Spurs are the big unknown. Thomas Frank, big opportunity. No more Ange. Fucking... Yeah, I can't believe it. You know, at the end of the day, you win the bloody Europa League. You know, they couldn't win a cup of tea, mate. And you know, I'm gutted, mate. You know, I'm trying my best here, and they bloody give me the sack. You know, I can't believe it. You know, won the fucking Europa League. You know, the bloody idiots. You know, they couldn't win a bloody raffle. And you know, I'm here. You know, I'm trying my best, and I'm out of a job. I can't believe it. You know. I mean, what do they bloody expect? I mean, just idiots, you know? So, yeah, no more Ange. Thomas Frank. Chelsea, going to be very interested to watch them. They've got a good start to the season. They've got a good squad. I actually think that just keep an eye out. A player to... I want to get some of you giving me your one to watch team for the season, says Flores, who's been a member for 15 months. No, that's not what team to watch is good. Player to watch. Let's play that game. And we like to do either ors here, so I've got a few either ors to come up as well. But let's do player to watch because I want to read some of yours out, obviously, but also I think it's really interesting because I think Jesus up front for Forest is a really interesting signing. I saw him playing for Botafogo, wasn't it, in the Club World Cup. And I just think he's got something about him that could be really interesting for them. I think they might have a good season next year because Ndoye looks like being a good replacement for Elanga. They've retained Gibbs-White. They've brought another centre-back in. I can see them being in the top half this season. I think Brentford might struggle. I think Bournemouth might struggle. Fulham are a bit of an unknown quantity. But, yeah, he's a player I think will do quite well. Jay says, what about Cherky at Man City? Yeah, very good one. Bilal has given us a super chat. He says, can you ban someone for our entertainment, please? Well, I'll ban someone for a reason. Over 2 years of solid football about to start, says Garfield. Of course, got the World Cup next summer as well, so it's on. Community Shield behind a $29.99 paywall agreed, says Baz. Yeah, I was speaking about this to somebody before. I mean, I pay for Sky and TNT in the UK anyway, so there's a nice floral tribute here with Ian Rush bringing out flowers to in memoriam to Jota. Also Simon Parish, who is the CEO, I think he's the owner actually of Crystal Palace. A nice touch there. But yeah, I was saying there, like, this game is on TNT, isn't it? But haven't they bought the rights for something else this summer as well? What about Rio? I can't pronounce his name. He plays for Liverpool. He looks very good. Yes. Is he on the bench for them today? I believe he might be. Let me just have a quick look. Very exciting player. It's not all about signing players, you know, is it? It's about, yeah, he's number 73. He's on the bench for Liverpool today, so keep an eye out for him. Zubimendi, if I were a United fan, I'd still get Jackson in. No, we don't want him, Rob, thank you. Gravenberg became a father yesterday. Thank you very much for your super chats. We'll read those out. Ban me if you want. I have to go soon anyway, says Tom. I'd never do that, Tom. Thank you very much. Big shout out everyone who's tuning in on Twitch as well. You're very, very welcome. If you want to subscribe there, you can do it for free with Amazon Prime. The link is in the pinned in the chat there. A few people saying hello. And hi, Mark. Now you know it's not about United, but surely we can only buy one or the other for Belieber and Donnarumma. No, Man United will get a goalkeeper and a midfielder. Yeah, we will. But there's so many teams that need to do business, isn't there? Where's the podcast, Coffee? I mean, we literally did the last episode of the podcast in May and said that's the end of the podcast. So you know where the podcast is. It's buried in the podcast graveyard. Yeah. Disney Plus have got rights to La Liga games this year, says Channel of Chucky. I was looking at that a month ago, actually. Because Premier Sports had La Liga in the UK. And it was only for a year. So I didn't know, like, whether they had it this year. So I don't know who's got the rights for what. We should play that game. Who's got the rights for this and that? We're not going to play that game. I'm going to do an either or, actually. Filters. Correction. There we go. I'm just getting the timer ready here. Welcome anyway. Give us a follow, subscribe. Thank you everyone who's tuning in. The Premier League is back on Friday with Liverpool against Bournemouth. We're doing Spurs against PSG on Wednesday. Football is back. Champions League doesn't come back until the middle of September, but we've got loads of Premier League games coming up before all of that. And we're ready to go with it as well. United don't kick off, Kyle, for another week. United stand is on at 8 o'clock tonight. Kian says, I was at the game yesterday. The atmosphere was great for David De Gea. I always think it's amazing how many people turn up for the Community Shield. There's a lot of people there. I wouldn't turn up. Even when I was like 12, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't be asked. I'd be like, nah, don't worry about it. So fair play. That's support for you. Good to see you back live on That's Football. I can't wait for the Premier League to start, says Elizabeth White, who is a Liverpool fan. Welcome, Elizabeth, and she's been a member for 7 months. Gravenberg versus Wharton. I mean, Gravenberg's not playing, but I will run that. No, I'm going to run my own either or here first. I'm going to go Eze versus Ekatike. Get in the votes. We love either ors. We love either ors. Thank you for everybody. Don't like the Crystal Palace kits. Obviously, that's not something I lose any sleep about. Kit designs, but as we start to watch people, I will give you my analysis. And yeah. Okay, that's all right. Sorry, I just lost the chat there for a moment. I am a fast typer, Kyle. Always have been. Always have been. 3 o'clock kickoff, 3 minutes to go. Sorry, I was just adding some news coming in. I was just working on a bit of Belieber stuff, but it's fine. Liverpool are going to be playing in white. I mean, I'm never going to like a Liverpool kit. Never going to like a Liverpool kit. It's not possible. Don't like the Palace kit. No. Have they got a sponsor on it? Or are the kids just not allowed to put a sponsor on it? It's political correctness gone mad. You can't have a sponsor on a kid's kit. Or have Palace not got a sponsor? Yes. Good stuff. Are you going to do a score prediction? No, not really. Ezzy has got 57% of the vote over Ekatike, by the way. Oh, that was what I was going to do as well. How do I do this? I've just put it in there for you people who are watching on Twitch as well, because they don't have the poll otherwise. Just to talk about Twitch, Psycho, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. Appreciate that. You can do that for free with the link, Amazon Prime. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so we are ready to go. It's a very strong Crystal Palace team. It's a very strong Liverpool team. Kirkez, Frimpong, Wirtz and Ekatike. We're in for a Sunday afternoon treat here. I'm very excited about it. Let's go. Very, very excited. Tom says, you missed me super chat. I didn't miss it. I just thought it was rubbish. And I didn't know. I'm about to read it now, Tom. I don't instantly read the super chats. It's just my style. But unlike others, I actually do read them. True story, Loz won't mind me sharing this. When I used to go on the kickoff years ago when it was good, I used to go on and I really used to enjoy it with True Geordie and Loz and Alcott, and I think Rory was on one I did. Good lineup that was. Anyway, I'd be sat there while someone else is talking. I had this screen with super chats and I'd be like, are you going to read them? They were like, no, we don't read them. It's just like, the power is strong with these ones. Looking forward to the new season, says Tom. I've missed the watch-alongs. Love your content. Who do you think has done well with transfers this summer? Who do I think's won the transfer window? Well, I think that it's close between... It's so close between... It's not about quantity, it's about quality. And I think Liverpool have not finished yet. Manchester United have not finished yet. Arsenal probably have finished. I like Arsenal's transfer window. And I don't think Arsenal have finished yet. So it's hard. You can't say who's won the transfer window because Arsenal could still get Eze, Liverpool will get Isak, Man United could still get Belieber, maybe a goalkeeper. But as things stand at the moment, I would say that it's a toss of the coin on paper between Arsenal and Liverpool. I must say, contextually, you could argue that Sunderland have had a very good window compared to Leeds and everybody else. There's a moment's silence here. I don't know. I presume it's to do with Jota. So I'm already talking over it. So I'm not being disrespectful. And it has just finished there as well. So sorry, I was not looking at the screen. But look, we've already said our piece on it. And as I said before, I was very sad looking at the team today and not seeing him there. And certainly won't be forgotten by any football club, but certainly not by Liverpool Football Club. So yeah, brings it home, doesn't it, the reality of it. But life goes on, football goes on, and Liverpool will be looking to, you know, build on what was an amazing season for them last year. I think goals for Liverpool this season will be to obviously retain the Premier League, but I think they've definitely set up with the belief that they can go and win the Champions League as well this season. So I think that's going to be a really big thing for them too. So I just can't believe that Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea built super squads just to win the Premier League. I think they're going to be looking at the Champions League as well. I think what happened with the kids not wearing a sponsor on the Palace shirts was because obviously it's a gambling product. So there we go. That's why that was all about. Somebody said that Palace fans were booing. I don't have the audio on, so I don't know what that's all about. But as Crispy Lad says, if you were booing during the silence, you should be banned. I mean, I don't know the context. I didn't have my volume on. But let me just say on behalf of football that if you were booing a minute's silence for Jota and his brother, then realistically, you don't deserve a place on this planet. Like, that is not rivalry. That is not banter. That is just sick. And when your brain works like that, unfortunately, there are people on this planet who shouldn't be here. And those people shouldn't be here because it's just incredibly disgusting behaviour. But obviously, I don't know the context, but there we go. Josh says, I don't mind that white Liverpool kit, but that red badge emblem is hideous. Well, we're up and running here. The timer is on the screen. Look, what I'm looking for in this game and on Friday, really, is how quickly the fullbacks settle in. Obviously, Wirtz in the system is going to be very interesting. I'm a huge fan of Frimpong, by the way. I really wanted Man United to sign him, and I sort of have to... When you've played the game as long as I have, you've got to look at the flares behind the goal from Palace fans. Are they still in the Conference League, Palace? But anyway, look, my point is, I think that when you've played watched the game as long as I have, you can't contradict yourself, otherwise you're going to look foolish. And I've said so many times that I think Frimpong will tear it up in the Premier League. It's annoying he's wearing a Liverpool shirt, but I think Frimpong will tear it up in the Premier League. So much so that I don't think it's going to be long before Liverpool fans are saying, Trent who? He's so good going forward. He's so good going forward. Kirkes was brilliant at Bournemouth last year as well. Do you think he will just start and Andy Robertson will leave? Because there was talk about him leaving. Red says, I think Frimpong might be better tracking back as well. Good play from Liverpool here, though, Szoboszlai. I mean, look, Crystal Palace are going to soak up the pressure. That's what they're all about. Probably, I mean, look, let's give Palace a bit of flowers for a moment as well. Their ability to defend last season was incredible, and their efficiency on the attack was even better. So they're still a good game. Hi, Mark. Can you wish my mother, Jane, a happy 59th birthday? She watches all the morning shows on United Stand and could raise a glass of champers, says Mike Guest. Happy birthday to Jane Guest, 59 today. I nearly said 10 years away from a 69, but that's just... No, we won't do that. But well done, Jane. Happy birthday. I'm not saying well done because you got to 59. I mean, you know, it's not, you would expect that. You know, you wouldn't guarantee it, but you would. I mean, I'm getting too personal here. What I'm saying is happy birthday to Jane. I hope you have a great day. Lovely weather in the UK. Here's Ekitike, gets the shot off and scores a goal for Liverpool in his first competitive game. The Community Shield is classed as competitive, and Ekitike announces his arrival in a Liverpool shirt with very, very, very impressive poise. That is good. That is good. He gets it on the edge of the box, close control, bottom corner finish. Dean Henderson can do nothing about it, and Liverpool lead 1-0. Isak who? Well, they were talking about Ekitike being a flop. I don't know loads about Ekitike. I mean, he was linked to a lot of clubs. But look, this is a lovely goal. Let's watch it back. Into feet. He's onside. He's got a lot to do. It's lovely. Lovely little intricate play. Back into the feet again. They don't close him down that well. But from that point, gets it out of his feet. It's a lovely low finish as well. Makes it... Well, Dean Henderson's nowhere near it. He's nowhere near it. It's a lovely finish. I mean, Dean Henderson can't get anywhere near that. And Liverpool are up and running, and you know, it's an ominous announcement to the rest of the Premier League, isn't it? That they still want Isak, and Ekitike is there scoring goals like that. I think it was Wirtz with the assist as well, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Number 7. I was trying to see whether it was Kerkez or Wirtz. Kerkez is number 6 and Wirtz is number 7. That's a lovely ball by Kerkez as well. This is good play by Liverpool again. Gakpo, quick feet. I mean, Gakpo's almost a forgotten player, but with Diaz gone as well. Very, very good. And here he is again, Gakpo. Palace don't like conceding first. It's not part of the plan. Kerkez, that's a lovely cross, but it's headed away. Remember, this is a Liverpool side without Gravenberch, without Alexi McAllister, and without, well, Isak. We expect Isak to be signed. Also, I think they're in the market for another centre-back as well. I think if you're Mo Salah, you're looking at this and you're going, I like it. You know, I'm the player I'm the guy that has to deliver all the time, and you can look around that team and go, hey, you know, there's players that can share the load here. Liverpool's biggest issue is centre-back at the minute. Van Dijk or Konate injury would be massive. No backup, says Sinu. Well, I was looking at the Liverpool bench. It's not... I don't know whether you've got players missing, but it's not the strongest bench, really, in relation to household names. If I go through it for you now. Ngumahoa, I can't pronounce his name. Rio. Chiesa, Duak, Elliott, Endo, McAllister, Marbadashvili, who is a goalkeeper, Nioni and Robertson. You need to tell me how to pronounce that Rio's second name. Up the Devil says, I'm hoping for a Liverpool injury today. Rivalry's not dead. I think they will sign a centre-back, though. I think the Premier League might have a Liverpool problem. They look sharp, says Zach. Hey, the great thing about the Community Shield is that you're first up. You can send a message out, can't you? Liverpool got an interesting start to the season, though. I mean, look, everybody plays everybody, but I do believe in momentum. And Arsenal got to play Liverpool game 3, got to go to Old Trafford game 1. Liverpool got to go Newcastle game 2, got to play Arsenal game 3. So it's an interesting opening to the start of the season. Ngamoa is his name. Ngamoa? That's one of those. Ngamoa, I'm going to call him. Ngomoa. 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 There we go. Thank you very much for that. So, cracking goal with that by Ekitike. If you're tuning in a little bit late, please do subscribe to the channel, get involved. That's Football's back with football, of course. And Liverpool are back with a debutant goal. Vipex says, what's your thoughts on Rodri setback? Well, I think for Manchester City, it's slightly concerning, isn't it? I think Kovacic is out until October. Rodri's out till September. I mean, they have got Reinders and I mean Gundogan's still there as well. But Palace looking for a penalty here. Didn't look like a penalty to me. Frimpong made the tackle. Yeah, definitely made the tackle. Corner. Chelsea 1 up against AC Milan, says Rub. AC Milan aren't that good, mate. Did you see the Mason Greenwood, Tyrone Mings situation, as says D? I did. So basically, they must have played each other, Marseille and Villa, yesterday. And Onana and Greenwood got into a little bit of something. Liverpool have got an amazing attack here, but good defending by Palace because it was like 5 against 2. And it could turn into a Palace. And that's a foul by Kanate on Eze. They did well there, Palace, because they had like a 5 against 2. Liverpool were steaming forward. But anyway, yeah, Marseille played Villa yesterday. Greenwood sort of squares up to Onana, the Villa midfielder. And something happens, and then Tyrone Mings just loses it. Grabs hold of Greenwood and literally just wrestles him like a little boy. It was, yeah. I think Greenwood sort of shit himself a little bit, which you might do against Tyrone Mings. He's a big lad. But I don't know what the context was. I don't know whether they sort it out, but I did see the clip, yeah. Apparently Chelsea are 2-0 up against AC Milan. They're not very good, AC Milan. The Manchester United of Italy, aren't they, really? I think João Pedro is going to be a great player for Chelsea, by the way. I'm very excited about the Premier League. I mean, I would like Arsenal or Chelsea to win the league over Man City or Liverpool. But ultimately, I just hope that we get a really exciting Premier League title race. That would be great. Ekitike 57%, plays 43% Eze. It helps when you score a goal. Eze's just had a shot from there that goes wide. Yeah, it definitely helps when you score a goal. That was the YouTube. We did run it as well on Twitch, and 74% went with Eze and 26% went with Ekitike on Twitch. So they're not fooled by the goal. Apparently, Greenwood made a very late tackle on Onana, says owner 987. Thank you very much. If you want to be a subscriber on Twitch, by the way, you can do that by subscribing for free with Amazon Prime. You can still get that on Twitch, and the link is in the live chat for you. Thank you very much for your support. We've got nearly 11,000 watching on YouTube as well, so thank you, everyone. Make sure you share a video. But yeah, it was a lovely ball into Ekitike. First touch is very good. Second touch, goal. And that's the difference. You know, if you're a young footballer or an amateur footballer, when you're watching high-level football, there's very few touches. He's one out of his feet, the other one's in the bottom corner. The speed of the modern game is incredible. But I'm looking forward to watching Ekitike because I haven't seen loads of him, but he was the player really that I remember him being at PSG and he got linked to Newcastle and Man United. Obviously he ended up going to Frankfurt and had a very good season. The price is massive, but the clubs that were interested in him, Chelsea were looking at him, obviously Newcastle, ends up at Liverpool. But he's one of those players where, you know, you'd be lying unless you're a massive bunter. What a flick that is. Salah's in. Oh, what a save by Henderson. Liverpool there nearly scoring what would have been goal of the season already. It was the flick by Ekitike, the ball in through to Salah. It ends up with Gakpo and it's a good save by Dean Henderson. But you might not need Isak with a player like that up front. Lovely technique there. I mean, I don't think they won't go for Isak, but... yeah, good save by Dean Henderson. It could have been 2-0. Ekitike looks ridiculous, says Jonathan. Yeah, well, the thing about Ekitike is, and remember Mamouche going from Frankfurt to Man City, and he looks very good as well. So I think that's the warning sign with Ekitike, isn't it? That you look at Mamouche at Man City, he's settled in really, really well. So whatever they're doing at Frankfurt, lovely ball here. Mateta's in. It could be 1-1. Oh, great save by Alisson. What is Mateta doing there? He's got to be scoring that. He's got to be scoring that, but they could score this. Penalty. He's got to give it. He's going to give it. Penalty to Palace. It's a cracking game, this one. Virgil van Dijk. He's finished. He's fell off. He's fell off. It's a penalty. It's a foul on Sarr. It looked like a penalty. They might review it, but he's left his foot in. Yeah, penalty. You can't review that. Yeah, it's a penalty. It's just caught him a little bit late. Van Dijk's got to make the tackle, but Sarr's just got there ahead of him. What a game. What a game. Mateta should have scored before that. Palace showing that they're still a good side. And they'll have a chance to make it 1-1. Football's back, everybody. Football is back. Get involved. Love it. Ex-Tony says, Van washed at it again. Do you think Crystal Palace will be above Man United this season, says Crucidini? Look, I think Crystal Palace are extremely well coached. And this was the Mateta chance. They're not going to show it because they're going to show the penalty. I think Crystal Palace are really well coached. And if they can keep their players, they'll be a good team. But if they lose Eze and Guehi, then I think it's a problem for them, isn't it? Mateta scores 1-1. Took it well. Kicks the flag. Didn't need to do that, mate. It was a bit over the top there. But he's mildly aggressive. But 1-1. Game on. Good goal. Crystal Palace showing what they're all about. Van Dijk still having a chat. It was a penalty. And we've got a bit of a game on here. Look, you know, I wouldn't be too stressed about it. You want to get tested. Terrell, yes, we are going to be doing watch-alongs on Twitch. Yeah, thank you very much for getting involved. Big up Goldbridge, as Palmarias. That's his celebration, Mark. I don't watch a lot of Palace. Did you see that burst from LFC? Amrim has lots to do, says Hitton. I want Tyrone Mings with Ibiza final boss look, says Rub. Hey, you know what? It's difficult, isn't it, to, you know, pre-season's pre-season. You don't know. But it's difficult to look at it and go with any sense of certainty in pre-season. But every time I watch Man United, I don't see patterns of play. I don't see understanding. Liverpool, you do. Even Crystal Palace, you do. And that's what Amrim is going to have to take time doing. I don't expect Man United to be playing brilliant football from day one. You've still got a lot of players to settle in, but that's the big challenge, really. The real question is, are we going to get career mode in FC 26 from Goldbridge? I mean, the great thing is, I could literally hit scene 2 and be playing EAFC 26 right here, right now. I could be changing this screen to screen 2 and be doing it. Instead of talking about it, I'll show you what I mean. Like, that could be the game. You know, there's me in the corner. But I can't because they'll take it off me because it's beta and you can't do it. But I'm enjoying it at the moment, and I don't know what date the game comes out, but as soon as it's out, I will be doing my career mode, yeah. It wouldn't be a very good career mode anyway because it's last season's fixtures, last season's kits, etc. Hi Mark, when is your Premier League prediction video coming out, says Jeffrey. Subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner to do it, because 8 AM tomorrow my Premier League prediction video drops. If you've not seen this before, it is a joy to watch. Basically, I predict the top 6, relegation, Champions League winner, Carabao Cup winner, FA Cup winner, Golden Boot, Player of the Year, first manager sacked, everything. And then we revisit it at the end of the season. It's a tradition that a lot of people do. And it could be, could have been 2 to Palace there. I've already recorded it. I did it this morning. And it's ready to go. Your timer's wrong. Yeah, I think it reset then for some reason. I think if you change scene, it resets. 19 minutes and 24. Were you drunk, Mark? I feel better now. Basically, Seb played football this morning and it was lovely weather. And I hadn't had any breakfast. And just a quick couple of pints at lunch made me feel a little bit, what do you say, lightheaded. And but then I've just had a lovely lunch and a shower and I feel a lot better now. I love having football back though. Are you gonna do fancy Premier League? People keep like Beth and everyone got a goal! It's a goal! Frimpong! Well, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on here? I think it's a bit of a fluke. Did he mean it? That's the thing. Did he mean it? I need to look at the eyes. I need to look at the eyes. If he meant that, Trent's in the mud. Very small Frimpong, isn't he? Let's look. Liverpool back in front. Lovely switch of the play. I think that was Szoboszlai. Goes into Frimpong. This is what he can do. No, it's a cross. That's a cross. I mean, if he meant it, it was brilliant. And look, you know when people say, do they mean it? At the end of the day, you're putting a cross into the box. If it goes in, it goes in. Like, it's a very, I mean, look, Dean Henderson can do nothing about it. But 2-1 to Liverpool. It's a good game. Good game. Owner 987 says, no way he meant that. Try Valkyro says, thoughts on a Goldbridge so rare series? Don't know what it is. Palmerius says, how the fuck has that gone in? Sorry for the language. That was his. That was him. It's a fluke. Oh, no. I've played the game. He didn't mean that. But it does happen. It does happen. Scored in the 20th minute as well. A lot of people saying that. Jota, of course. I said that a few minutes ago. I've always been a massive fan of Frimpong. Begrudgingly because he wears a Liverpool shirt. But he's a really exciting player. I tell you what I have been impressed with by Liverpool though. Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones look really good. I mean, Wirtz looks good as well. And they look good, Liverpool. They just look really good. Gakpo. But this is where Palace can be dangerous on the break with Eze. Good defending by Frimpong. I'm clapping him myself. Frimpong Kirke's impact on Pat is already obvious as 1 inch wonder. I think, look, Trent and... I mean, I can't speak about this because I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I can speak about it as a football fan. Trent and Robertson will go down as 2 legendary fullbacks, I suppose, for Liverpool. But you feel like their shift was done. You know, the passing of the guard was required. And that's evolution. Sir Alex Ferguson was brilliant at this. I mean, I remember the summer of 95. Kanchelskis, Hughes and Ince. Massive part of that 94 double side that people forget as United fans because they weren't alive or, you know, but we don't forget if we're old enough. They were a very good side. And he got rid of them and he rebuilt. And I think that moving on Trent and Robertson's probably going to play less and bringing in Kirkes and Frimpong, you know, they could be the next 5 years of really top class fullbacks for Liverpool. So it feels like it needed freshening up and it's going to be interesting what they can do. But no, there's no way he meant that. No way. He's a brilliant player. There's no way he meant that, though. Palace still playing better than United worries me, says Nathan. Chelsea and Liverpool already winning, might as well turn the TV off, says Jay. Mings has Villarreal tonight. Thomas Partey next. Are they playing? Surely not playing two games in 2 days. Frimpong, Kirkes impact already, says 1 inch wonder. Jeffrey Ellie, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. When's your Premier League prediction video? We've done that one, haven't we? Thank you very much as well. They're having a drinks break here. I mean, what is this wokeness? I mean, it's about 30 degrees and we're having drinks breaks in the UK now. We never used to have bloody drinks breaks. You know, it did used to get hot in the 90s. Used to get hot in the noughties. Used to get hot in the 80s. And now we're having bloody drinks breaks. What's going on? It's ridiculous. It's political correctness gone mad. Random Joker, thanks for subscribing on Prime. You're an absolute legend. You can do that for free if you've got Amazon Prime, by the way. Thank you very much for that. Love it. And 4 says it was a jammy goal. Hey! You only score the goals from the shots that you take, and it wasn't a shot. Guehi and Isak still to come, says Alex. Oh, yeah, of course, I forgot that Guehi could be playing against his new club. I think Palace can do without Guehi. I know they've been linked to... I can't remember the name of the centre-back that they've been linked to, but they've got linked to Diamonde at Sporting as well. The loss of Eze is going to be the biggest problem they've got. Is Ahmad going to be United Salah, says Haynes? I mean, that's very, very optimistic. Rub says these drink breaks are soft as shit. Get on, lads. Jay says, yeah, we're about to run the Premier League. I'll tell you what's exciting about the start to the Premier League season. Newcastle away for Liverpool 2 weeks tomorrow. And then 3 weeks today, Liverpool, Arsenal. We're going to get some good games at the start of the season. Martinez, 221, thanks for subscribing with Prime. And Nini says the drinks break will eventually be commercial breaks. Mate, you heard it here first. You're absolutely spot on. Ariel says, taking on water on a hot day isn't woke. It's common sense. Fervently disagree with Mark on this issue. Well, I fervently disagree with you. And I don't even know what fervently means. Simon Jordan's biggest fan. You've swallowed a dictionary and you're shitting out words I don't know. But I'll tell you what. In my day, Ariella, we used to go out in a heat wave, play football down the local park from 1 o'clock in the afternoon till 8 o'clock at night. And all we had to drink was our own spit. So I completely disagree. We don't need drinks breaks. They're playing for 45 minutes. They can have a big drink before and a big drink at half time. They don't need 20 minutes. The reality is as well, a Crystal Palace player goes down injured, have a drink now. You don't need a designated drinks break. There is a time where you can have one. Would you swap Onana for De Gea for 1 season, says Luke is Bond. Oh, mate, 100%. 100%. I agree. I think the drinks break eventually will be for to bring adverts in. 100%, yeah. Oh, God. You know what? I tell you what. Sarcasm and banter doesn't travel, does it? It's kicking off in the live chat. If you're so good, why don't you go and play out there and see if you need a drink? No, I'm all right. I'm sat here doing a watch-along. I'll be okay. I'm in my 40s now as well. It'd be embarrassing. To be honest, the last thing on my mind when I'm playing football is, can I have a drink? I just want to play the game. Will Hughes has come on for Crystal Palace. There's been an injury. I've been impressed with Wirtz as well. Oh, can we do a poll on Wirtz versus Bruno? I like that. I'll do that. Irish Ryan's given us a super chat. He says, I wonder what people's reactions are going to be when Mason scores a winner for England. He's definitely going to be called back. We all know it's coming. He's chosen to play for Jamaica, mate, so I think he'll struggle to play for England now. Yeah. Didn't you take a bottle of squash down the park, says Mark? Nah. I mean, the most I'd do is get one of them big cans of Fanta. Remember, like, you've got to be a certain age. You used to be able to buy a Coke. You know, like a normal Coke can is like that. You used to be able to get bigger cans, like bigger cans. But you always thought you were it if you got one. But actually, it was quite stupid because what's the point in having a large can? They used to do larger cans of Coke and Tango and stuff like that. But it was actually stupid, really, because once you've opened a bottle of fizzy drink, it doesn't really keep. We thought we were it with our big cans, but really we looked stupid. Remember Sunny D? Oh, Sunny Delight. Spit Destroyer. There used to be this drink called Sunny Delight. Oh, it was horrible. It was like you know, Skittles. You know, if you eat Skittles, like it turns your spit into like syrup. That's what Sunny Delight used to do as well. I never liked Sunny Delight. Glenna 87, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. You're a legend. I think somebody else has as well. Let me just check. Thank you, Glenna. Oh, people are going mad. They're saying Sunny Delight was nice. I don't drink any of those energy drinks. I used to like Sneak, but we used to do Sneak on Twitch, actually. Those were the days. Oh, some lovely flavours of Sneak there was. I liked Sneak because I used to get the water and the ice, and then you put a scoop in, and at least you knew there was loads of water in it and ice. When are you going to do a Premier League prediction? Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, it drops on this channel. Just Ryan says, can you wish me luck for my surgery? Says, oh, well, good luck with it, mate. Don't know what the surgery is, but good luck. Ollie Boy, thank you very much for your super chat. And Liquid says, bro, this commentator with his Sabozlai. It's a difficult name to get right. Sheepy says, I'm scared that Ekatike will become Nunes 2.0. Is that a good start, mate? I think the big thing about any forward, whether it's Gyökeres, Ekatike, Sesko, Here's Saar up against Van Dijk again. He's done him again. Terrible pass. Got caught in two minds. Yeah, the big thing about being a new player in the Premier League for any club is that you've got to score goals. Here is Ekitike down the left-hand side. Confident. Into Gakpo. He's going to use Salah. It's a lovely ball for Salah. It's gone overrun. He's overrun it. Yeah, he's good. He looks good, doesn't he, Ekitike, with the ball into feet. Big lad as well. Curtis Jones looks like he's moving a little bit more, little bit different. I don't know whether that's maturity. Oliver Shaw says, I used to love the lockdown career mode. Oh, those were the days. Those were the days. Thank you, Mitchell. He says, you're a great breath of fresh air and truthfulness when it comes to football. Some would disagree, but thank you. Thrown into the box by Liverpool. We're 10 minutes to go to half-time here. It's been a good game. Liverpool probably a little bit fortunate to get the goal from Frimpong so quickly after the equaliser from Palace, but still a very competitive game. You've got to be careful about Palace on the break. How's your back and what exercises do you do, says David? Absolutely nothing. I have noticed, actually, I think I'm getting like headaches in the back of my head from lower back pain. I've noticed that over the last few weeks, so I'm trying to... I've just, because the kitchen's being done, it throws you out. Diets, exercise. I'm not very good with disruption. Lovely switch of the play here. He will keep it in as well. Munoz. Little cross. Canate left it and over the bar. I'm getting old. I've had more injuries this year than I've had in the previous 45. Did my hamstring in March. Did my hip in April, and I did my intercostal muscle in my ribs about a month ago. It's freezing cold in Australia, says Hyans. It's lovely and warm in the UK. I think we've got a heat wave this week. Thank you very much, David Knight. Remember Lunchables, Dib Dobs, and timeout bars. I remember Dip Dobs. Tom, do you remember them KP things where it was a round tub and then you opened it up and half of it was a bit of chocolate and then you got 6 like biscuits to dip in it? They were crap. What a load of rubbish they were. Lunchables with Dairy Lee, weren't they? They were okay. Jubblies were brilliant. They were so good. If you remember Jubblies, they were like this. You buy them and they were like a triangular flavoured block of ice. You'd cut the corner, squeeze them, and as they melted, it just tasted lovely, really nice. I'm watching from Vegas, and these Yanks have got no clue, says Niam. We used our bottle of squash for goalposts, says Mark Holder. Good idea. Jumpers for goalposts, that doesn't happen anymore. Like, I grew up playing football where there was we didn't have goals. You literally used jumpers for goalposts, and figuring out what was a goal, we were actually quite good at it. We knew what was top corner. It was amazing. Unless you played against cheats, who basically, even if you put it in the centre of the goal, they'd say, no, didn't go in. Would you take Munoz at United? Oh, well, I'd have to learn how to pronounce his name, Dylan, but I do like him. He is good. He is good. Come on, Palace, says Shush 4. Ballon d'Or should be Dembele. Shouldn't be any chat about that at all. Hi, Mark. I'm sorry, but you're breaking character by doing the Premier League predictions sober. That's part of the magic. South African stand-up. Mate, you can judge for yourself tomorrow. It's now 3:30. I did it at about 12:30, and I just finished 2 pints, and I hadn't had any breakfast. So I'm in a different mental state now. I mean, it's still a little bit like, but I was a lot worse 3 hours ago. So you'll be able to see for yourself. I wouldn't say I was off my head, but I'd certainly say I shouldn't be driving, and I didn't. But it's 8 o'clock tomorrow. I certainly don't think you'd class it as, you know, level-headed sober. There's a couple in there that are good that I'm now regretting. There will be VAR in this, Linus, yes. Scott Warman, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. Pappy says, done that one as well. Appreciate it. We've got about 6 minutes to go to half time here. Good game. I've enjoyed it. It's, I was just trying to have a look at what Palace's first game of the season is, actually. Answers on a postcard. Remember that? They don't play on Friday. They don't play on Saturday. They must be playing on Sunday. Chelsea away. Tough game. Yeah, you'd fancy Chelsea to beat them. Palace had a bad start last year, didn't they? Just a couple of pints, Stu. A couple of lunchtime pints. It's nice weather, that's what I was going to say. Let's have a look at the weather this week in UK. I was in New York in June. I don't mention it much, but people were saying it was hot in June. People were saying you want to come back in August. Well, we've got 28 degrees tomorrow, 31 degrees Tuesday, 28 degrees Wednesday. So very hot start to the week. In fact, it's going to be a nice couple of weeks. 25 today, partially cloudy. In New York this week, it's the same. 31 degrees, 31 degrees, 32 degrees. Yeah, it's bloody hot in New York, isn't it? Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Mitchell says it's hot here in New York. Mark says Mitchell. Thanks, pal. Sheepy says Chelsea look scarily good, don't they? João Pedro has turned class. I'm going to take a look at Chelsea at half time. I'll give you a little bit of a insight into that. Have you put Man United in the top 10 in your predictions? You'll have to watch tomorrow morning. That's from E Waters. Your Gucci says, how has Wirtz looked? Good. He's on the ball at the moment. I think he looks really good. Tidy. Gets to 45 degrees in Australia. Says Dom in December. I couldn't be doing with a hot Christmas. I couldn't do that. I don't like the idea of Christmas in a hot climate. You know, some people say, oh, you've got to try it. No, I don't. I do not want to try. Oh, you've got to do it once. No, don't want to try it. Canate's been booked. Aaron's in New York right now. Enjoy it, mate. 25 degrees in the UK is hot, says Blue Ninja. The trouble with the UK in heat is that we are not set up for it because of a lack of aircon. Even in restaurants, we just don't have it. Look, in fairness, Liverpool look good, but Crystal Palace ain't bad either. That's my assessment on this. Write it up on the Athletic. Mark Goldbridge guest analysis. Liverpool look good. Crystal Palace ain't bad either. You can't, you know, you don't need better than that. That's fine. Thunder, la 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 la. Thunder, la la la. What a tune. Thunder. What a tune. Gaji says, does Kroos remind you, sorry, does Wirtz remind you a little bit of Kroos? There is that sort of the way he moves his body, yeah. I think the worrying thing for me is, and I've been saying it all summer, is that you look at these Liverpool. I think sometimes you look at players signing for clubs and you go, like Liverpool, Arsenal, Madueke. I'm sort of like, will that work? I don't know. Gittins, Chelsea. Will that work? I don't know. Kudos, Spurs. Will that work? I don't know. But I look at Liverpool and Kirkes Frimpong Wirtz and I sort of go, I can't see it not working, if I'm being honest. Look, I've got to say, Ekitike, I don't know. It looks good so far, but they have bought well. Uh, 7 minutes added on. Why? That's surprising. I hope we're not going back to that stupidity. I don't want to see that happening again. Remember the season before last where we got ridiculous time added on at in both halves? I thought we got rid of that. Don't want to see that again. Definitely don't want to see that again. Sheepy's made a good comment here for Liverpool fans. I don't see why we're playing Konate. He's clearly running down his contract to go to Madrid on a free. Why can't we tell him either sign a new contract or go, or else you won't play? What a cross by Palace. I don't know how we didn't score. Andre says it was because of the water break and the injury. That's what I mean. Get rid of the bloody water break. Idiots. Oh, that was so close to being a goal. Muniz puts the cross in. And I don't know if it's Sarr who throws himself at it. Look, I don't know. It's each to their own. If Konate was at Manchester United and he was refusing to sign a contract and had just lost Trent to Real Madrid, and I know that Real Madrid want him, ideally I'd be like, you're not getting picked. And I'd buy a centre-back. But, you know, maybe you've got a good relationship with him and you just go, okay, you are going to go, but let's be professional. And at the moment, they don't, as Charlie says, they don't really have much of a choice to pick him anyway. And that, oh, he's offside. We've had 7 minutes now. They don't really have many centre-backs as well, Mark. Fair point, well made. Talk about that at half-time. Mateta's missed a couple of sitters here, hasn't he? He was offside anyway with that one. What's the schedule for the watch-alongs next weekend, says Fraser? So, Friday night, we've got Liverpool-Bournemouth at 8 o'clock. Saturday, we're doing Villa against Newcastle at 12:30. And then Sunday, 4:30, on the United stand, Man United against Arsenal. So, a 3-game watch-along next weekend. 3 days of watch-alongs. Glenn says, all these people talking about being somewhere hot and exotic. Meanwhile, I'm stuck in a Tesco van till 11 tonight, delivering shopping around County Down. Is it hot, Glenn? I think most people when we get stuff delivered, whether it be Tesco or, let's be honest, Waitrose, no, it's not. They're always in a good mood. Won't be long until it's a bloody robot doing it. I don't want a robot delivering my Tesco. It's all right there when it's there with the box going, I'm here to deliver your food. But I'd be worried about, turning into Terminator and instead of pulling a cucumber out, pulls a bloody sword. Wixby says it's only 23 degrees in Yorkshire. We're still playing here. He's added 3 minutes on top of 7. Jobsworth. Yeah, this is the thing. You've got to calm down and remember the referees are here to ruin football. Look, I'll remind you what I said because I'm not going to go anywhere. I still think it's an absolute disgrace that the PGMOL still haven't apologised to Aston Villa for costing them Champions League football by not allowing the goal they scored at 0-0 at Old Trafford. They haven't had an apologise. Oh, Howard Webb and Michael Owen, they're happy to do their little chat when, the PGMOL do something good. Never forget the amount of mistakes the PGMOL made last season. And never forget, they made no apology to Aston Villa for costing them £100 million. Absolutely none. I can't do maths. I'm an idiot. It's how my brain works. I think I'm mildly something. Stupid. Yeah, this game needs to go to 52 minutes. That's how it goes to 7. I'm looking at 47 and going, oh my God. Idiot. Thank you to Ethan. He says, if you didn't know already, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to Mark's Twitch here. The link is in the live chat. Thank you very much. I've enjoyed the game, though, because it's a nice contrast of styles. You've got Crystal Palace, who defend very well and counter well, against a Liverpool side that's looking to be progressive and plays a high line. Palace parking the bus as proper LFC. Well, that shouldn't be a surprise. Oh, Muniz does well there. He's got a lovely cross on him as well. Do you think Eze will go to Arsenal? Cross again. I think there's I don't know. I think Arsenal do their transfer business quite... Here we go, half-time there. I think Arsenal do their transfer business quite discreet, don't they? So, I don't know. Nathan, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Are you doing an FPL for that football community, says Leroy. If we do, I will let you know this week. I need to start looking at it. Sanchez is a clown, says Rub. And why is the UK like a decade behind everyone else? No aircon, seriously. You can get aircon, Irish Ryan. People just don't tend to get it. Kirkos will be an annoying problem for attackers, says Mozza. So will Frimpong. Did you play tennis and cricket as a kid, says Mark? I played a bit of tennis. I'm actually quite good at tennis. if I say so myself. Aircon's expensive in the UK, says Wixby. Carl Foster says, what's the point of half-time if they've already had their break? Look, let's talk about I want to talk about Chelsea very quickly because there's a game there that I want to talk to you about. But in regards to the game, very, very good goal by Ekitike. He's looked nice and tidy against a good Crystal Palace defence. Similar with Wirtz. We're talking about the new signings, obviously. Frimpong, a little bit fortunate with the cross, but, you know, he didn't mean it, but it still looked good. But I think him and Kirkes have looked good as well. So all 4 Liverpool signings settling in nicely. And Crystal Palace, being Crystal Palace, have had chances on the break. Mateta, obviously one would have been offside anyway, and the other one was right before the penalty, so they wouldn't have 2 goals anyway. But still getting in good crosses from that right-hand side. It was a penalty, so 2-1's about right. And welcome back to competitive football. I think it's been a competitive game. And an enjoyable one at that. The amount of times the commentators talked about height of players like Frimpong and Kirkes, it's like they have nothing else to say, says Who to Blame. Welcome to the mainstream media. The Athletic did a podcast on referees today and they said that they're trialling scrapping VAR and adding a challenge system like in the NBA. That would be terrible, Danelius. Nathan Savage, welcome to the members club. Thank you very much. Do you think the PGMOL manipulate games with betting companies, says JB? Yeah, I mean, if I answered that, I think I'd be in a court. So I won't be answering that. And I don't think they do, actually. I really, really don't. Right, I was asked to look at the Chelsea game. Chelsea are playing AC Milan at Stamford Bridge. They're leading 2-0. Pedro scored a goal after 8 minutes, and it was an own goal as well. Obviously, I think that's their last game before the season starts. And I mean, AC Milan are not the team they used to be. The Chelsea lineup is Sanchez, James, Tosin, Chalobah, Cucurella, Caicedo, Fernandes, Palmer, Neto, Gittins, and Pedro, which is probably going to be their starting lineup. And João Pedro has added a lot to that team. It's amazing. It's amazing how you can look at Chelsea like we have for the last 2 years and say, why won't you buy a top striker? And then they bring a top striker in and they actually look good. And I think Delap's going to help them out as well as the understudy. But you look at that. I look at that AC Milan side. And look, Maignan good. Tomori, I think, is a decent player. But Loftus-Cheek, Leao, Musa, Richie, Fofana, it's just, they're not the team they used to be. I mean, Aston Milan's on the bench. Jimenez, they bought as a striker. I don't think he's settled in that well. Modric, obviously. Okafor, Chukwueze. It's a long way back for AC Milan. Chelsea look like they're missing players, though. Estevao on the bench. Gusto's on the bench. Hato. Anselmino. Liam Delap. Who've Chelsea got missing as well? Madueke's gone. Obviously, they're going to bring Xavi Simons in and Garnacho probably as well. Squads are what it's all about. Jamie B, thanks for subscribing on Twitch. You're an absolute legend. You can do that for free as well. Love that. Thank you. Hit the like button, guys. Love the content. Keep it up, Mark, says Marcel. Let's go, Liverpool. Do you think... thank you very much for that. Please do subscribe as well. Bottom right-hand corner. Thoughts on Donnarumma, Marks, Man United beast. I don't think he's going to sign for Manchester United. It's not come in from anybody credible yet. I think he could go to Chelsea as well. Or he might go to Saudi. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're watching on YouTube, by the way. We are getting very, very close to 380,000. We're only a few away from that. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do you think we'll see some subs in the second half? Yeah, I think we will. Thank you, Ethan. You're doing a great job. If you want to get another mod, Ethan, let me you know, just give me a suggestion and I'll whack somebody in. It's weird on there, isn't it? I've noticed you get a lot of, from my last time being on Twitch, you get a lot of, you get them on YouTube a little bit when you upload a video, but you get a lot on Twitch in the live chat of like sex bots. It's weird. You think they'd get rid of that? I mean, it might not. It might be real people. To be fair, might be real people. Let's come back here. Lost it. Yeah, I mean, I think both teams are going to make changes, of course, because you've got. I mean, interesting to see this player that Liverpool fans like, this Rio lad. He looks good. I'd like to see him in the second half. Yeah, that's a lovely goal by Ekatike. Remind me, you have to remind me how to pronounce this Rio's second name when he comes on for Liverpool, because I get the feeling we're going to get to know a lot about him. Is your striker going to go on loan to Milan, says Flash? Rasmus, hopefully he's going to stay, because I think United need 2 strikers. I mean, this morning they were talking about letting Rasmus go and getting Calvert-Lewin in. I mean, that's basically like having lasagna for tea, throwing it in the bin and then going on your garden and picking up a piece of dog shit. I mean, hopefully he will stay. But I don't think AC Milan's even a good move. I mean, in June, he had Napoli, Inter Milan, Juventus, Leverkusen, Leipzig all want him. And you go to Milan. I mean, I wouldn't, with all due respect to Milan, I think if he was going to go, United should have moved a little bit quicker and given him better options. So, I don't know. Ngomaho. All right, I need to read this. Ngomoha. Ngomoha. Engamoa. Okay, all right. When he comes on, we'll do it. As you have a love of Italian food, did you catch much of Dino's Off? I hear people say he's one of the best ever, says Luke Styles. It's got nothing to do with food. Oh, Italian football. I read it wrong. Dino's Off. He's a goalkeeper, wasn't he? He managed Italy. Yes. Still alive. Laughed meme. Thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. Appreciate that. What's for tea? Don't know. I feel like it's steak. Mun says it's not that hard. It's Ngumoa. Ngumoa. Okay. Jay's having a Chinese. Yeah, so the week ahead when it comes to watch-alongs, we're doing Spurs PSG on Wednesday. Now, a lot of people are talking about that game. It's the Super Cup, sorry, because obviously they had a, well, they won the Europa League, Spurs, and PSG won the Champions League. A lot of people saying I can't wait for PSG to smack up Spurs, but look, we saw what Chelsea did to PSG, so you never know. I'm actually quite looking forward to seeing what Thomas Frank's Spurs is all about post Son as well. So I still think teams like Spurs and Newcastle and Villa are surely going to do more business. Too Easy says, when is your charity stream? It's normally the middle Saturday of the November international break. That's always the one we do. Gumoa, simplest way to pronounce it. Thank you very much, Ike. Palme says, Ekatike looks decent first half. I think all their signings look good. I mean, obviously, it doesn't massively matter until the start of the season on Friday, but as I said before, I think this is about as close as it gets to the start of the season competitively. My prediction for the start of the season, I was doing a video on the United stand actually earlier on, and I was talking about how, for me, because Man United have got to play Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City and Arsenal in their first 8 games, and also because Champions League football doesn't really kick in until sort of game week 4, for me, Manchester United's season's always is going to be about game 10 to 20. First 10 games, it's about being around the top 5. Game 10 to 20, when all the other teams are playing in Europe week in, week out, and we're not, and all our new signings have settled, that's when United's season's really going to come into fruition. Sort of between October and January. I think for Liverpool and certainly Arsenal, they've got a more difficult start to the season than Chelsea and City. So I wouldn't be surprised if a Liverpool or Arsenal had what could be described as a slow start to the season. But I think they're the 2 favourites, is what I'm trying to say. It would be great to get Watkins in to replace Rasmus, as Dave King. I can't see that. I can't see United haven't got that sort of money, Dave. They haven't got that sort of money. Kieran says, I've almost forgotten that Salah's been on the pitch today. Feels very weird. I know what you mean. I mean, I think Mo Salah will still be the best player in the league. And obviously he's going to be a huge part of Liverpool's success. But I think Arne Slot is looking at that and going, we need to start sharing the load for Salah. Like at some point, Salah will leave. And also at some point, Salah will slow down a little bit. And the over-reliance on Salah, I mean, his goal and assist contribution over the last few years is just nothing short of amazing. So I think what they're looking at now is distribution around the team. And, the Ekatikes, the Verts, Isak if he comes in, obviously the 2 fullbacks. It's about evolving. And they'll also, I mean, it's surprising they haven't done anything yet, because they're going to have to start doing that with Van Dijk at some point as well. Which first week game are you looking forward to, says Firesbird? Oh, I mean, Man United, Arsenal, of course. Selfishly or not, that's going to be a huge, huge game. But opening weekend's always good. I remember, I want to say 94. I remember being on holiday in Cornwall around 1994 and being on the beach at Trearnan Bay, and we'd booked a house out. So my mum and stepdad and sister and brother with my granddad and gran. I remember being on the beach on the Saturday afternoon, and you didn't have phones then. I remember saying to my granddad, oh, tonight there's a telly, isn't there? We'll be able to watch Match of the Day and have fish and chips. And he said, you're not telling us what to do. No, he didn't say that. But opening day weekend, love it. It's probably one of the only times I'd watch Match of the Day, actually. I like to see as many teams as possible, as quickly as possible, so you can start to understand who's who. Now, this Rio Ngomoha is warming up here for Liverpool. JJ, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you very much. You can do that for free through that. Ngo Mohu. Oh, I'm going to struggle with his name. I'm really going to struggle with his name. He's not coming on yet. He's only 16 years old. He's only 16 years old. He'll be 17 at the end of this month. He's English. He's played for the under-17s. So there we go. Ngo Moha. Ngo Moha. Ngo Moha. Ngomoa. I don't know. Dry January in a couple of months. You excited? Says Parker. Couple of months? January's bloody 5 months away, mate. You're talking out your arse. I know you don't talk about the SPL much, but what do you think of bets on Celtic to win getting paid out after 2 games? SPL is a joke, says Crying Scotsman. I mean, I'd put a bet that Celtic are going to win it for the next 5 years, let alone this season. Jocelyn says, disrespectful to compare Bruno and Wirtz. Our captain is a very special guy. Amram needs patience to get a blend and gel of old and new players. Much love. It is That's Football, Jocelyn. It's not United Stand. You know, people can do polls and suggest them. It's Ngomoa. Try it like that. Ngomoa. I should write it down. I'm going to go with that. Ngomoa. Do you think Alisson will leave at the end of the season, says Buddy? Well, they brought this goalkeeper in, haven't they? Do you think they'll share the load a little bit with so many games? That's from Buddy. What players could you beat in a fight, says Mr. Warts? I don't think it's actually that relevant, is it? Gakpo. Kirkez. Goal. Oh, Ekitike. Could have scored, should have scored. Cross into the box. He's 6-yard box level and heads it wide. He probably knows he should score because he should. And it would have been an assist for Kirkez and it would have been Ekitike's second goal. It's a lovely cross. Might be an element of offside about it, but does it get caught on his nose or something? Hard to tell, but the chance is gone. Glenn says, how much do Spurs drop off after selling Son? Well, what do you mean drop off? I know they won the Europa League, but you can see what happened to them in the league. And I would say how much do Spurs improve under Frank is a fairer question. There's no way that Spurs can drop off any more in the league. There's no way Spurs are going to finish lower than that. Wout Veghorst and Eddie, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. Appreciate it. I don't think Son had a particularly good season last year for Spurs either. I don't think Son had a particularly good time at Spurs after Harry Kane went. Rob says Timo Ekitike. Here we go. He scored a goal. And Ekitike or Sesko says 0. Well, we'll have to wait a few weeks for that. Dean Henderson's got his cap on again. That guy was born in a bloody cap. He's the only goalkeeper who wears a cap, isn't he? Here's Salah. Look at the overlap by Frimpong. He refuses it. No, he doesn't. Any reason McAllister's not starting this game? Is Salah? Has he had any problems with injury? Corner to Liverpool. Chris Kirkland had a cap on as well, didn't he, YB? Yes, he did. Luke Stiles says, will this year be a boring Premier League with 3 up, 3 down? Yeah, but Liverpool had that league wrapped up at Christmas for me, and the 3 up were going down in bloody September. I still thought it was a really good Premier League season. I don't think it makes it boring just because you know who's going to win the league and who's going to get relegated. I still thought it was a very competitive league. And I think it will be a better league this year because I think we'll get a proper title race. 3 up, 3 down. Sunderland have spent well. Leeds and Burnley, I don't know. Referee's just tripped up Munoz there. Send him off. That was a professional foul. Did that on purpose, the ref. Watch this. Referee trips him up. Professional foul. Send the ref off, says Gems. Malrats, thank you very much for subscribing. Palmarius says the ref's a dirty bastard. Ultimate Goal Zone says I think Brentford could go down. Look, Brentford haven't got Wizza. No, Wiz is still there, isn't it? They haven't got Mbermo, they haven't got Flecken, they haven't got Norgard, and they haven't got Frank. That's a lot to lose. I would reserve judgment on Brentford, though, because they're a little bit like Brighton. Write them off as your peril. Liam says, my bottom three is Burnley, Leeds, and Wolves. Interesting that you say Wolves, Liam. Burnley under Scott Parker, I don't know. I just don't fancy them, to be honest. Thank you, Melrats. Love the message. He says, I love the channel. Liverpool fan here. That's the problem when you get promoted to the Premier League, though. It's not just about whether they can stay up. We've not seen a team that's been promoted from the Championship in quite a while now get 35 points. And I think you've got to get 38 to stay up. So it's not only about, look, the last 2 seasons, they've all been shit. They've been nowhere near. We haven't even had somebody that's been close to staying up. And that's the challenge. It's like, you've got to pick a team that's going to have a season shit enough to let a team stay up. And even teams like Everton, Wolves, Man United and Spurs, as bad as we were, we still managed to get like nearly 40 points. So it's very difficult. Bilal says, can you say Peter Endlove? Yes, because I remember him playing for Coventry City. As a Fulham fan, I'm worried about our lack of signings, says J.K. Worthing. Here's a cross by Kirkes again. And Ekatike misses again. They could have had 2 goals this half, Ekatike. Well, it was a great start for him, but he has missed 2 chances. I think this was harder than the first one. Ekatike could have had a hat-trick. That's the line. Gonna tweet it. Should have had a hat-trick. Who are you going to support from the lower leagues? Says Too Easy. I think in League 2, Notts County. League 1. I don't know, because last year it was Charlton, but they're in the Championship, and I do want Birmingham to come up as well. And I'd quite like to see Coventry do well as well. So, you know, 2 teams quite local, but also Charlton. We've got a good relationship with Charlton. League 1. I don't really know in League 1. That was quite good on the podcast last year that we picked teams, didn't we? But League 1. Well, I may as well pick a team that's got 2 wins from 2. Nah, I won't do that. Plymouth have had a bad start. Pieface will be fuming. They only got relegated from the Championship. Lost 2 from 2 already. I mean, they've lost 2 games in a row, Mansfield Town, but I've always liked Nigel Clough. Where are MK Dons now? Here's Liverpool. Ekatike. Salah. No. How come you and Ben Foster stopped doing weekly predictions? They were good. They were good, Terrell. But you know, I'll be honest. If I had the time, I would do it. But it was taking up like all of my Monday, really. And I've got lots of other things to do. Physics Frost. Thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. You're a legend. MK Dons are in League 2, says Kimberly. Thanks, Kimberly. Good morning, Mark, from Canada. Alberto, Canada. Great show. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. Let us know where you're watching from around the world. That would be great. I'm always very nosy about that. Also, we didn't answer this question. Ezzy. He's not going to get a foul for that. So J.K. Worthing said, as a Fulham fan, I'm worried about the lack of signings. I think the board is saving it all for a spree next season in case we lose Silva. The positive with Fulham is that you haven't bought anybody, but you haven't sold anybody. So stability might be your friend. You kept hold of Anthony Robinson, who was with Kirkes the best left back in the league. You've obviously still got Muniz up front. Be interested to see how Fulham do. I think it'd be very hard to replicate what you did last year, but I think it, you know, they should be mid-table. Thoughts on Jack Grealish to Everton, says Paul. Really exciting. I mean, I don't know what Everton are doing because you've got David Moyes in charge, but looking at Jack Grealish and Tyler Dibbling, at least they're flair players in a new stadium. It could be, I mean, I'm sure Everton, hold on. Here's Szoboszlai, cut that back. Gakpo, good block by Wright, Hughes. I think Everton fans would just love to have a season where they don't start off down near the relegation zone. I mean, it would be a real change if Everton started the season well. Physic Frost, thank you very much for subscribing with Amazon Prime. Appreciate that, pal. Zaki says, greetings from Adelaide, South Australia. E. Waters says, Luton Town have won 2 and I've got 2 clean sheets. Yeah, I agree with Lee Berman. Grealish in a big fish in a small pond suits him. If you look at Aston Villa, he did really well there. Paulinho went to Spurs as well. Yeah, forgot about him. I think he's a good player. I do. I think he's a good player. I do. What Karen says, what's Ezzy been like? Yeah, he's been all right. I think he'll end up at Arsenal, though. Haaland's first game in the Premier League was a Community Shield with Liverpool and he missed an open goal. The rest is history. Also, City will win the league, says Anne Wynn. I don't think you can write them off, but hopefully they won't win it. I just wanted to have a quick look at Everton and Fulham's opening fixtures. Everton go to Leeds. Oh, good cross into the box, and Sarr can't quite get on the end of it. Yeah, Everton go to Leeds Monday Night Football. So it'll be the last game of the opening weekend. And Fulham go to Brighton. It'd be interesting with... I think it would have been offside there anyway. It'd be interesting with Brighton. Because I don't think Brighton achieved what they should have achieved last year. And I'm not convinced about the Brighton manager. I've said that a few times. Jamie Carragher says, Liverpool looking great going forward, but susceptible defensively as we've seen all pre-season. A lot of the goals conceded by Liverpool have come from going man-to-man really aggressively and leaving space in behind. Today, Kirkes is getting dragged inside with Sarr, leaving Gakpo chasing the wing-back. He's got his white trainers on, hasn't he? He's dancing around. He's getting ready for Monday Night Football. I'd say it ain't that deep, Jamie. You won the title last year doing a lot of the same. Liverpool play an aggressive style of football. And they did it under Klopp as well. They do go man for man a lot. They do play a high line a lot. It is aggressive. You can get at Liverpool. You've always been able to get at Liverpool. But what Liverpool look to do is overwhelm you and win the game. Livid Frosty, thanks for subscribing with Prime on Twitch. Lovely ball over the top. This is what he was talking about. But that's why your sweeper keeper is really important if you're going to play that high line. And there's Alisson there showing it again. Palace coming into the game a lot more, though. I think what Liverpool did could be the blueprint for lower clubs to skip a transfer and save that money to spend more the following years. Is who to blame. And have you thought of doing the cooking videos again, says Ollie? I'm literally having a new kitchen fitted. Not so I can do cooking videos, but I can't do them at the moment. I will do them. I will do them. It's 3-0 to Chelsea. And do FPL and Mini League for all of us, Mark, says Ted Valentine. I'm going to have a look tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow, 8 o'clock on That's Football YouTube channel, my Premier League predictions video lands. So make sure you subscribe. Get ready for that. That's another corner for Palace here. Chef Bridge, says V. And Sar on Crazy Stuff says, do you think Spurs have got a chance of winning a domestic trophy this season? No. Chef Bridge, says V. I swear you had a new kitchen fitted this time last year. Says I bloody didn't. I've never had a new kitchen. Every house I've moved into, I've inherited a kitchen. I've never ever had a kitchen. Header straight at the Alisson there from Richards for Palace. Lots of people have always advised me don't get a kitchen fitted. It's a very stressful thing. Prediction video is at 8 o'clock tomorrow, Paul. 8 a.m. UK time. Tea or coffee? Somebody said too easy. Different times for different drinks. Coffee is fine pre-midday, and then it's tea all the way. What's your favourite home kit? I'll have to leave that to the chat. What's your favourite kit this season? I mean, watch out for Man United's dropping on Tuesday. It's very nice. It's the black third kit. But I don't know. I haven't seen everybody's kit yet. So I don't really get that bothered about it either. Oh, here we go. Palace again. Eze into the box. Good save, Alisson. Good save, Alisson. He can't do much more there. Eze gets the shot off. It's low. He knows it's a good save. Thing about Eze, when I look at that Crystal Palace side, when I look at Eze, where does he fit into that Liverpool side? I almost think with Eze, if Crystal Palace, and they should be in the Europa League, and they were in the Europa League, if I was Eze, I'd sort of think, I'll stay where I am. But if he goes to Arsenal, how does he get in the team? So they're going to find out tomorrow whether they get back into the Europa League. Well, hopefully they will. I know Forest will want to get it, but you know, I don't think Forest have much of a claim for it when Palace are in there because they won the FA Cup. I don't think there's an injustice there. What manager is going to get the sack first in the Prem, says Connell? Well, actually, it's one of the things on my Premier League predictions, so I'm not going to tell you who I said, but I think if I was going to give a short list of 5, I would say, obviously, Keith Andrews going from set piece taker to Brentford manager. Some people might say Amorim at Man United. I hope not. I also think Brighton. I'm not convinced about their coach. You're probably not going to. It's probably not going to be anybody from like the top Villas, Newcastles, unless you had a bad start to the season. I mean, look, no one ever predicts it. But what if Newcastle lost 5 of their first 6? So, you know, it could be an Eddie Howe. Scott Parker at Burnley, Farke at Leeds. There's a few. Thomas Frank at Spurs. You know. Stav says Brighton decent shout. I just don't. I think he was a bit overrated. The Brighton coach. I think he's really got to deliver now. like they got a couple of wins last year where I thought they were a little bit lucky there. And I think when you look at the fact that Bournemouth and Fulham and Forest did so well, you look at the Brighton squad and you go, they really should have done better than they did. Kenner says, I still don't understand where Ekitike is supposed to play if Liverpool get Isak on the left. Yeah, I do wonder that. Do you think Liverpool would have gone for Isak? Sorry, do you think Liverpool would have gone for Ekitike if they'd known they were going to get Isak? Or do you think they're now going for Isak because he is available and it's too good of a chance to miss? You do need two forwards, though. I mean, Nunez has gone. Diaz has gone. And obviously, sadly, we've, you know, the news of with Jota over the summer. So I don't think it's not a big thing that they've got Ekitike and Isak. What do you think of the Fulham away kit, says Sar? I'm going to have a look at it now. Because a few people have said to me the Arsenal third kit. So I want to have a look at that as well. Arsenal third kit. I mean, it's just white. Fulham away. It's green. There's not a lot you can do with the Villa kit, really, is there? I'm just going through the kits here. Bournemouth. I quite like the AC Milan colours of Bournemouth, but yeah, you can't do a lot with that. Can't do a lot with Brentford. Can't do a lot with Brighton. Can't do a lot with Burnley. Chelsea kits are very plain these days. Palace we've obviously seen. Everton's bit dull. Fulham's home kit's quite nice. Gives off a bit Real Madrid vibes. Leeds with the Red Bull on it just looks a bit odd. Liverpool, no. Man City, no. United third kit's going to rock when it comes out. Newcastle, you can't do a lot with that. Green away. Ooh. Forest's a bit boring. Sunderland is Sunderland. Spurs is crap. Away kit looks alright for Spurs, the black. West Ham. Wolves. Slim pickings, really. Man United third kit's going to be the one. Charles says Liverpool's green third kit is going to be good. Who scores the next goal? Well, Salah's not going to be quick enough to get away there. Szoboszlai. Into... Oh, he should score. Oh, was that Wirtz? Yeah. Edge of the box, spins. Got to do better there. Liverpool been a bit wasteful second half, really. Ekitiké's had a good couple of chances. Wirtz from there, terrible. Really terrible. So Alexi McAllister's going to come on here, and so is Endo. And they're going to have a drinks break as well. 70 minutes. Elite Robbo says, do you still do career modes? I did. It's probably in the worst return on a year, really, at career modes. And that's not really a reflection on EAFC 25. I just didn't turn off sacking. And I think you needed to do that because sacking has been a bit strange on the game this year, because I was actually in the top 4. I think it was second and I got the sack because I didn't do the objectives, and that's harsh. So I will be back for FC 26. Liverpool don't have enough centre-backs, says KB. Palace look good. I mean, Liverpool are winning, but Palace look good. But I think the thing with Palace is they'll be a good Premier League side next season, but have they got enough squad depth for Europe? No. And will they keep all these players in September? And I don't think Guehi and Eze will be there. And if you don't replace them, that's a big loss. I am doing the Super Cup final, Ollie. Yes, I'm looking forward to watching Spurs and also PSG. Palmarius has been a subscribed as a tier 1. They've been subscribed for 30 months. Thank you very much for doing that on Twitch, pal. Appreciate it. Another drinks break, says Lawrence. Yeah, it's mad. Robbo says, thoughts on Isak conduct last couple of weeks? The way he's so quickly pivoted from local hero to trying to jump ship with no consideration to the position that he'd leave Newcastle seems disrespectful. I think there's more to it, Robbo. I mean, look, I'd love to agree with you because, yeah, I'm not a Liverpool fan. So, of course I would. But I think there's a story here that is only starting to come out. And I read it in The Athletic about a week ago. So, Isak had basically said to Newcastle that he wanted this to be his last season. And Liverpool went in quite early saying that we'll give you a British transfer record. And Newcastle have said no, 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 no. And obviously you have a contract. But I think if you're Isak, you're sort of like, I told you I want to go. There's a club willing to break the record for me. And you're saying no. I'm not really that happy about that because I want to go. And you're going to get a British transfer record. And obviously he's not happy about it. So I don't think it's a sudden thing for Newcastle. I think they knew he wanted to go. Now, they've got every right to say no. What they haven't done is say no. What they've said is, you can go when we get a replacement, or you need to sign a new contract. So Newcastle have never said, we're keeping you. Newcastle have said, we want you to sign a new contract, or we'll sell you. So I just think people are analysing the Isak situation and making something out of it. I don't think he's been disrespectful. I don't think Liverpool have been disrespectful. And I don't think Newcastle have been disrespectful. I just think it's a case of Newcastle can't get the players that they want. And Newcastle shouldn't sell him until they've got 2 strikers in. And when they've got 2 strikers, I think they will sell him. It's just time. If Newcastle had got, funnily enough, Ekitike or Sheshko or João Pedro, then they'd only be whizzer away from letting Isak go. But they just can't get the players in. Frimpong's down injured here. Liverpool put the ball out. I think he just caught one on the shin. Because players don't wear proper shin pads now. When in my day, you basically used to wrap your leg up in... You used to go and play football like you were wearing a... Oh, I tell you what, that'll hurt. But he's got no coverage there, has he? In my day, he used to wear those ankle shin pads. You know, the ones that would wrap round your ankle and go all the way up to your thigh? Nowadays, they wear shin pads like a bloody piece of chewing gum. Look, he's got no coverage there on his shins at all. I don't understand why players don't want to wear shin pads anymore. If he'd have had a shin pad on there, he wouldn't have got hurt. Why is that? Why is that? I've seen shin pads that are like that. I don't know why they don't want to play in them. Sheepy says Wharton's a right good player. Stop Playing the Game says that should have been a red card. Oh, it'd be more comfortable to play without shin pads, but it's not more comfortable when you get studded on your shin. It bloody hurts. I banged my shin on the train and ended up with a hole in my leg and 6 stitches. I've played the game. Yeah, Imran says, players these days with shin pads the size of a Pringle. I'm not joking. We can all remember the shin pads we grew up with. I remember actually I had a game for this. You had to wear shin pads. You probably still do. I remember we had a game for the school, and we were leaving at 1 o'clock on the minibus to go and play a game away, and I went in my bag, and I'd forgotten my shin pads. I was going around trying to find someone to give me some shin pads, and they wouldn't. I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to bloody play. So I sort of thought to myself, they never check your shin pads. It's more about a visible thing. They look. So you know what I did? I took my English and maths book. Remember, you used to get books at school that were like that, and I just put them down my socks, and I just had a couple of books. It's a bit uncomfortable, but it looked like I had a pair of shin pads on. I've played the game. How many cups of tea have you spilt, says Ben? I don't know. I'm not counting. Favorite flavour of crisps, says Too Easy. Oh, probably Walker's cheese and onion or McCoy's ridged steak. I used to like prawn cocktail, but as I get older, I find them quite tangy. Mark, love your content. Can you explain to me, as someone from Texas, why no player wants to live in Newcastle, says Costa. I don't think. I think Newcastle's transfer problem this year has got nothing to do with Newcastle. I think there could be a scenario where if it's the same money. Look, this should be 2-2. It is. It is. It's Saar. It's 2-2. That Liverpool high line that Carragher spoke about, exploited again. Kirkes exploited again. Saar getting in behind. 2-2 on 76 minutes. All a little bit too simple, isn't it? Liverpool's defence looking a little bit shaky, as apparently it has done all pre-season. You can tell I'm waiting for the replay. I'm still waiting for the replay. Palmaria says Saar one to watch this season. Yeah, Gakpo loses it. I don't think that's a foul. Gakpo loses it, and then yeah, Van Dijk steps out in a bit weird from Van. That's on Van Dijk really. He steps out, playing a high line that no one else was doing. So I'd probably blame Van Dijk more than that. God, that hurts. 2-2. Jay Will, thank you very much for subscribing. Appreciate it. With Amazon Prime, appreciate that. Tadaric Saar, says Rogue Punisher. That's an old one. Thoughts on Southampton being better than Man United, says Ben. Well, you're not. You're in the bloody Championship, so shut up. Absolute nonsense being spoken there by Ben. So 2-2 with 13 minutes to go. Maybe Liverpool are not as good as we thought. I feel like there might be a Liverpool in crisis video coming up here. Surely not before the season started. If you know, you know. There will be multiple in crisis videos across the That's Football season. Basically, whenever a big team loses, I just do a video called In Crisis. There's always a Man City one. It's the patterns of play, though, isn't it? Oh, big chance for Palace there. What's going on here? Palace drops to Sarr. Very good tackle by Kirkes. I don't think he got a good connection. Could have been 3-2. Was not a handball. Was not a handball. Did you ever try Brannigan's beef and mustard crisp? Brannigan's, Jason March. They were the goats. Shout out to Ethan. He's got a poll running on Twitch for tea or coffee. I'll put it on YouTube as well. It's always interesting to see the contrasts there. There's no handball there, no. Tea or coffee? How's Wharton playing, says Faris? Yeah, good. Oh, we're looking at McAllister for a handball, not Kirkes. No, they're not going to give it. Yeah, I didn't see that one. I wasn't looking at that one. That probably was maybe, I think, a penalty. His hand's not in a good position. But explain the handball rule to me because I've got no idea. Yeah, I like the posh crisps. So, you know, the Walker's Sensations. I like the pop crisps as well. Not even crisps. With the way top teams are building squads, are we ever going to see a Cinderella story like Leicester, or has football definitely moved past it, says Vibor? I certainly, well, it's probably too soon to say, but I definitely think that we've seen football change a lot this summer. When you win the league and spend $500 million, that's a new world, and I think that happens because of the Champions League, which is the Super League. Genuinely think that Palace should have had a handball there, but I don't understand the rules. I don't know why they've let that go. It sort of sets the standard that if you jump with your hands out and miss the ball and handball it, it's not a handball then. I think it has to be a penalty. It's stunning how that's not a penalty, really. It's a weird decision. I think even Liverpool fans would admit, because look, I think we're all friends when it comes to PGMOL, and it's only the Community Shield. It's not like you're going to lose the Champions League, is it? If that happens to you, oh, Salah straight at the keeper, probably should have done better. The game's opening up now, but I think if that was against you next week against Bournemouth in the last minute, you'd be going mad. And this is what I mean about the PGMOL. Their decision making is just so strange. All you want to do. Kettle crisps are good, Joe. All you want to do is just understand the game that you're watching. And if he's jumping and his hand's behind him like that and it lands on his hand over here, you see, then surely it's a penalty. He's jumping in a weird position. His hand's outstretched and it lands on it, influencing the contact that the Crystal Palace player has. Surely it's a penalty. I missed Palace' second goal. Was it good, says Chandler Chucky? It was straightforward. It was a bit of a... Oh, they're in again here, Palace. Mateta. Oh, terrible shot. Game's really going end to end now. But straight to penalties, isn't it? There's no extra time in a Community Shield game. That would be madness. They've done a poll on Twitch. Ethan's done a poll on Twitch, so I will do one on here. 53% of you prefer tea to coffee. And from that amazing poll, we'll go to, was it a pen for Palace? Yes or no? Barjaff says, surely Isaac will not join Liverpool after seeing this game. I've just read a right load of shit on social media. There's so many people around the United fan base who make shit up. Ruben Amorim believes Belieber can form a league-leading midfield partnership with Mainu. Yeah, and he's just turned down £100 million for Bruno Fernandes, who plays in the midfield every week. I don't know what arse people pull this from. Bruno is playing in the midfield. We've just turned down £100 million and he's our captain. Nonsense. What would make Man United a 10 out of 10 window, says Chris? It can't be done. It can't be done because part of a 10 out of 10 window is getting the players in early, selling your players early, and we can't do that. We haven't got a time machine. So you can't do a 10 out of 10. A 10 out of 10 window is selling everyone you want to sell, buying everybody you want to buy, and it all being done for pre-season, which is, you know, it's very difficult to do. Even Liverpool didn't manage that. Van Disney's had a shocker today, says Dan Davey. Mark, are you going to make space on the shelf for the new Premier League ball you got, says Lee. I am. I have got the new Premier League ball. I need to change. I normally... I just need to relegate a few balls. It's a shame, actually, because they are good balls, but they're last season's balls now, so I try and change them. Seb loses so many bloody balls, though. It's not a bad thing. What happened to the tartan pyjamas? Well, they'll be back. It's too hot at the moment. You can't be wearing pyjamas at the moment. Although I refuse to sleep naked. On holiday I will. But on holiday I don't even use a blanket. Just lie there. Aircon on. Love it. Are we going to get a winner or are we going to get penalties? I sort of want penalties. I can't lie. Me too, Mark. I'd love penalties. I've got my white trainers on. I just want... At the end of the day, I look at that Liverpool side, and I was a great Liverpool defender. And I just want to take the piss out of Liverpool defenders and just say I wouldn't have done that. Do you remember Terry's chocolate pyramid? No. I remember, oh, white's lemonade. I'm a secret lemonade drinker. Ah, whites. Ah, whites. I've been trying to get to sleep, but it's been one of those nights. Can't remember the guy who used to run downstairs in his pajamas to drink lemonade. Probably the worst thing you could do. I mean, the adverts were so good when I was growing up, but they were they would not be allowed now. A Mars a day helps you work, rest and pay. No, it doesn't. It's full of sugar. It makes you naughty and have a sugar rush. And sneaking downstairs to drink lemonade is going to ruin your teeth. I remember a mate of mine telling us once that his mum used to go downstairs in her sleep every night and eat half a Jamaican ginger cake. If you don't know what a Jamaican ginger cake is, you used to be able to buy it in the co-op, and it was like that long and that wide and very, very thick. Like you'd have one slice of it and it'd fill you up. And he said, like, she was addicted to Jamaican ginger cake, and she would get up in the middle of the night and eat it in her sleep. I don't think she did. I just think she was greedy. I think she just got up in the night and ate half a Jamaican ginger cake. I never believed the in your sleep thing. But I don't like eating it. I don't mind eating in the early hours if you've been out, but I don't like the idea of getting up in the morning and eating at 3 o'clock in the morning. Trio. Tango ads were fun, yeah. This looks like it's heading to penalties. We've only got a minute of normal time. Oh, yeah, if it's an NFL watch-along, Liam, I eat sweets and all sorts. But you're staying up for that. Durden says, half a Jamaican ginger cake in the middle of the night sounds like a euphemism. Well, you said it, not me. She was definitely putting it in the mouth and swallowing, though. So it was definitely food. Shake and vac advert. You do the shake and vac and you put the freshness back. Do the shake and vac and put the freshness back. What wizardry was shake and vac? I don't even know whether so basically, you used to be able to buy this stuff in the shop, and it was like a shaker. You'd take it off. It was like salt. You'd walk around your carpet. I'd be watching bloody Football Focus. My mum would come in the room and say, "Lift your feet up," and she'd be sprinkling this white stuff all over the bloody carpet. You'd look on the floor and you'd think Paul Merson's been round. And then she'd come in with the hoover and hoover it up. And I'd go, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm doing the shake and vac to put the freshness back." And I went, "You're just putting talcum powder on the floor and then hoovering it up." "No, it makes your carpet fresh." I thought, even as a kid, I was like, that is some shit marketing that you fell for there. It's just perfumed soap, as someone said. Who puts bloody white powder on the carpet and then hoovers it up and thinks it's going to make your carpet fresh? Someone still uses it. Beaver still uses it. It's like putting talcum powder on your bloody pubes and having a wash. Anyway, I'm liking the trip down memory lane with old adverts. I'll tell you what I used to like. Carl's Iron Brew, made in Scotland from Girders. Iron Brew. Iron Brew and Tizer. Oh, I used to love them. I used to love Tizer and Iron Brew. Two separate drinks. The best advert Iron Brew ever did was a piss take of the snowman. You know, "I'm walking in the air," and the snowman's holding hands with the kid. Well, the Iron Brew did it, and I think it got cancelled. This is how stupid the modern world is, right? So that clip where the snowman's being, he's flying in the air holding, "I'm holding very tight." Anyway, Iron Brew did it, took the piss out of it, and the kid is flying with the snowman, drinking Iron Brew, and the snowman keeps saying, "Can I have a bit?" And he's going, "No." And then the next thing it cuts, and the snowman's got the Iron Brew, but the kid's not there anymore because he dropped the little shit. But they got cancelled, got banned. Absolute nonsense. John Smith's adverts were very good skills with Peter Kate, yeah. Aaron's just getting home from work. That always messes with my head. Last night I had to go out at about 10:30 to pick one of my daughters up, and I thought, you know what? It's dark. I'm going down a dark country road, but in LA it'll be bright sunshine and 2:00. 5 minutes added on, and then we go to penalties. Remembered the Barclaycard ads with Rowan Atkinson. Vaguely. Swamp Cleaner. Nike advert for 2014 World Cup, says Mrs. Stone. Should do a poll on who uses shake and back, says Dan. I didn't even know it was still a thing. I've just took the piss out of shake and back. In fact, I just had oh God, my agent says I was just working on a mega deal with shake and back and you've ruined it. In a way, I've probably given them more publicity than they've ever had. Guehi's coming off here. Obviously for penalties. Willed Padlock says, do you support an NFL team? I think if I had to pick a team that I like the most in NFL, I like Josh Allen. And I like the way the Bills play. So, because they're quite an aggressive attacking side. So, I'd say the Bills. It's always been the Cowboys, really, but not for any reason other than my grandparents went to America when I was a kid and came back with the Dallas Cowboys top. So, I always liked the Cowboys. But having watched a lot more NFL recently, I'd say the Bills are the team that I like. But I do like the sport. Purpley Bacon's in Mallorca right now. Love it. I'd love to be in Mallorca now. Having a pint in Rogers. Palm and over. So, hope you're all right, says Rudolph the Red. Hope you're all right, mate. Lovely to hear from you. Mohammed says, can a player be transferred twice in the same window? It seems to me like that's a quiz question. I don't think you technically can. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I don't think you can. We've got 5 minutes of added time and we've played 5 minutes of added time. Ezzy. Could be a winner here. Ooh, shot wide. From Palace. Probably the last chance of the game. Fine says, I've just watched the Iron Brew Snowman advert. It's probably on YouTube, to be fair. Let's have a quick look. We should do this on Twitch one day. Just do old adverts and play them because they don't really care about it. You won't get took down for it. Yeah, we're going to penalties. Well, a bit of excitement at the end of it. Please do subscribe if you're on YouTube. We're on the road to 380,000. And thank you very much, everybody on Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free by clicking that link that Ethan's just put in, or the pinned one as well. Thanks everyone who's been tuning in. We've got a penalty shootout here between Crystal Palace and Liverpool. Owen says, Liverpool fan here, I fear your Arsenal pick is dead on. We are atrocious at the back. Van Dijk has been shocking, awful, have to sign a centre-back, says Owen. Liverpool in crisis. No, not quite, but I think they have got to be... what was your centre-back roster last year? Was it Van Dijk, Konate, Kwanzaa? What happened to Angel Gomez? What happened to Joe Gomez? Has he been sold as well? Like you need 4 centre backs at any level, and Liverpool are, you know, you can't get away with it. The Premier League was very competitive last year. You're going to have 4 centre backs. Ponty Bandit, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime, and Monty as well. You're a legend. Joe Gomez is injured, says Andre. Yeah, they're going to have to sign it. Sun says Palace will be happy with the Guehi injury. Oh, did he go off injured? I didn't notice on that. Jason Marsh says, for mash, get smash. For mash, get smash. that people will be thinking, what's he doing? Can't remember the robots in... there was... Oh, this is mad. So there used to be these packets that you could buy of mashed potato. It was like just a packet, like you put water in it and it made mashed potato. And then the adverts were these robot people who used to speak like this. With the mash, with the mashed potatoes. I can't remember. I can't think of lines that they used to speak, but they used to speak really funny. And when they laughed, they go, sounds like a broken machine gun. Yeah, Cosmic says explaining it's not going to help. Yeah, it's one of those. Monty says, thank you. Keep smashing it. Thanks, pal. Works well with the smash. So we're waiting for the penalty shootout here. I think the Champions League is going to be really exciting this year because we've got so many English teams in it. What, we've got 6? Yeah, we've got 6, haven't we? We've got the Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, and then we've got Spurs and Newcastle. Oh, God. I keep getting woken up by pigeons. This happened to me at my old house as well. Pigeons are so fucking noisy. They go, I wouldn't even want to do a pigeon noise. I don't know whether it's a time of year. There's lots of trees around where I live, and they're obviously in the bloody trees talking to each other. They go, rrr, 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 rrr. They don't know that noise. That sounds like a cockerel. I hate pigeons. They're rats with wings. I need to get a bloody tiger or something and send it up there. They won't bloody do that then. Sidemen Key, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. Appreciate it, pal. Who wins from here? Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But it's a chance for Dean Henderson to, you know, show off, or Alisson. I think a draw is a fair result, by the way. I don't think you could argue with that. When you look at the stats, very, very equal on shots. Obviously, Liverpool had more possession, but Palace would expect that. I think a draw was a fair result. And I think Liverpool have got a few concerns going into the season. They've got Newcastle away, game 2. They've got Arsenal at home, game 3. You'd expect them to beat Bournemouth at home, but they need to sort themselves out defensively. Otherwise, you know, it doesn't matter how good you are going forward. DBB says, I'm a lovely, huge fan from Saudi. Thank you very much, pal. Yeah, if this was extra time, I'd turn it off. Nobody wants extra time for a Community Shield game. What's more important, the Snapdragon Cup or the Charity Shield, says Paul? Well, I think we all know that. Definitely the Snapdragon Cup. Oh, God, I'm yawning now. Come on, let's get these penalties off the road. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Lots going on. And tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, my Premier League prediction video drops. So make sure you've clicked subscribe so you've got your notifications on YouTube. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Mo Salah steps up and he misses. Over the bar. Wow. He's finished. He's fell off. Wild penalty from Mo Salah. I mean, is that just... is that just, I don't know, lack of concentration? Or is the ball... Can you blame the ball? B16 says, pigeons were domesticated, then abandoned by humans, so they don't know how to build nests and fend for themselves. It's pretty sad, really. Well, they do. They must build nests because they have little kids. Where do they put them? In nursery. Mateta scores 1-0 to Palace. Scars Music says, maybe it's a stupid question, but how did Newcastle get the Champions League? No question is a stupid question if you don't know the answer to it. It's a good life lesson because people don't ask because they think, oh, I'm going to make myself look stupid, but then you don't learn. So, Newcastle got Champions League because they finished 5th. And you get 2 extra spots in the Champions League now for the 2 best performing leagues in Europe. And obviously England performed best in Europe out of anybody because Chelsea got to the final of the Conference League, Man United and Spurs got to the final of the Europa League, Arsenal got to the semi-final of the Champions League, Villa got to the quarterfinals. So that's why 5th did. Ooh, McAllister's just missed as well. Dean Henderson's loving it. Liverpool going to lose. Henderson, former Man United player. Hence everyone saying it's not even a real game. Hi, Kev. Is it a sign of things to come for Liverpool? Well, defensively, they're not at the races, are they? Here's Eze. He's got to score this, really. And he doesn't. My God. That was a really crap penalty by Eze. Really crap. Oh, what's this angle here? The one thing about the Club World Cup is that they had a camera behind the... they had a camera behind the player. Why are they showing these crap angles? I watched the tournament recently and the camera was behind the player. And it's so much better. These camera angles are shit on these penalties. Here's Gakpo. He scores it. That was a good penalty. What do you think of Liverpool's performances, Andre? I'll probably do a bit of a match reaction after this. So, but yeah, 2-2, fair result. Make sure you give us a follow if you're on Twitch, by the way, because we're closing in on 287,000. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Do you think Liverpool doing purposely because of the curse? Says Seven. What's the curse? I presume I'm going to guess that curse is something to do with. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the curse is. Here's Palace, another stuttering run up, and he does score that one. Sarr. I can't do a match reaction to Chelsea, Reese, because I didn't bloody watch it. Obviously, if I did a match reaction to Chelsea, everyone would go, "You didn't watch it," and I'd be exposed. I'm not willing to do that. Oh, Tarrell says, if you lose the Charity Shield, you win the league. I mean, no one remembers the Community Shield, so it's just a glorified friendly as a season opener. It's a tradition. It doesn't really matter if you lose it, but... So it's 2-1 to Crystal Palace, and this is the fourth penalty. Harvey Elliott is going to take it. And he's missed it. Crap penalties from Liverpool. They've missed 3 out of 4. So, by my estimations, if Crystal Palace score this, it's over! This one wins it. They're going to win anyway. Crap penalty. That was really shit. Oh, it's virtually down the middle with no power. I do wonder why some professional footballers take penalties like that. Shade, thanks for subscribing with Prime. Thank you very much, pal. And this to win it. Oh, I tell you what, that would have been a great penalty to win it. He's gone top corner. I was talking about this yesterday. Ben Foster said to me, if you go high in the corner, no keeper's going to save it. He goes high in the corner, but he hits the bar. And it doesn't go in. So, Liverpool need to score this, and then Palace need to miss the last one. Palace can still win by Henderson saving this, or scoring the last one. They've got 2 bites of the cherry now. 23,000 watching on YouTube. Make sure you give us a subscribe. If you're watching on Twitch, give us a follow. Ah, it's a good penalty by Szoboszlai. Henderson went the right way. So, if Palace score this, they win. You just don't save those. He took it really well. Good penalty by Szoboszlai. Kato was right. Thanks for subscribing with Prime, pal. Appreciate it. So, up he steps for Crystal Palace. Who is it? I don't know his name. Don't recognise him. Tell me his name. I don't know who it is. Do you go for power or do you place it? Davini is going to go power. Ah, lovely penalty. Lovely penalty. Crystal Palace win. They'll love that. It's great for them. The Community Shield is like the Champions League to them. They're going to love it. They've ran to the wrong corner, really. They need to run up to the Palace fans. That's the Liverpool end. They're not used to winning. But, yeah, Palace will love that. It's nice for Palace. And a penalty shootout gives us a little bit of excitement as well. I am going to do a match reaction because I think more importantly, there is a bit of an assessment around Liverpool to discuss. And defensively, I think they've got problems. But how big those problems are, we'll have to wait and see. I'll whack up a match reaction now. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, UK time, on That's Football YouTube channel, my Premier League predictions for the season drops. This is always a big video. Lots of people can get involved in it. That's going to drop at 8 a.m. UK time tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe on your way out so you get your notified thing when it comes out at 8 o'clock. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. I'll speak to you all in a bit. I'm just about to upload the video for Liverpool in Crisis. It'll be up in about 20 minutes. Speak to you in a bit. Thanks for watching.